Dave Palumbo here with an RXMuscle rant. Today I want to talk about a little bit of a topic that's kind of irritating me a little bit. Not really irritating me, but just something that, kind of is annoying at sometimes. As a commentator, as a person who's been covering the sport of bodybuilding, probably since I retired in 04, I think I started the first year 06 with muscular development. It puts you in an uncomfortable situation because here you are and you're friends with all these bodybuilders. These are guys you competed with. Nowadays, these are not guys I competed with, but they're people that I've become friends with through interviewing them and just talking to them online. And now I have a job of having to critique these athletes when they're on stage competing, okay? For titles like the Mr. Olympia, the Arnold Classic, New York Pro. And, to be completely honest, my take on life has always been like, give them the truth. That's what people want to hear. That's what the moniker here is at RXMuscle. The truth hurts, right? And sometimes the truth does hurt. I don't want to hear the truth sometimes. I do, but I don't. Sometimes you want to hear people give you the real feedback, but sometimes you don't really want to hear, especially when I'm younger, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear your teachers telling you that you did something wrong or something like that. But at the end of the day, if I critique someone's physique, if I say Hunter Labrada was holding water on stage at the prejudging, which is a certifiable fact that he probably is aware of as well, for him to be upset with me saying that because I said that, and he's not, but I'm saying if he were, it would be ridiculous. Just like if I'm going to critique Hadi Chupin, and say that I think his shoulders looked a little suspicious, okay, that's no personal attack on Hadi Chupin. It's just what I am observing. Is it true? I don't know. If it's not true, then don't worry about it. If it's not affecting, how you're placing, then don't worry about it. But that's my job. My job as an analyst, and that goes for all the people that work from Chris Aceto, John Romano, whoever else is working here. But I'm talking about myself right now. My job is to critique the athletes on stage, good and bad. If I say Ramy has the best legs, on the stage, that's a compliment. But if I say also, Ramy was holding water at prejudging and I thought Brandon Curry was better. It doesn't mean that I don't like Big Ramy. It just means I thought Brandon Curry was better at prejudging. Why people get so upset, not just the competitors, but the people who are their coaches and their family and the fans who support them. Guys, it is what it is, and it's only my stupid opinion. So if you don't like my opinions, don't listen to my channel, But if you want to hear what I have to say, then you have to accept it, good and bad. I'm sure people love when I critique people that they don't like on stage, right? If there's an athlete maybe that you're not that fond of, and I point out something that wasn't good about them, then people are like, oh, that's right, he's right. But if I point out something about, someone who's very popular, sometimes people get upset with that. I think Nick Walker looked amazing, and I said it. I thought he should have beat Hunter Labrada on stage, and that's the truth according to what I saw on stage. I'm not saying it because I'm a Nick Walker, friend or fan. I'm saying it because that's the truth. He brought his best conditioning to the stage at the Arnold and to the Olympia, and I don't think he could have been any better. People ask, what about the varicose veins on his leg? Well, I don't think it detracts from his physique. It's a situation he's going to have to deal with down the road, but it's not taking away from what he's bringing to the stage. If you don't like to look at him, don't look at him. At least he's got calves down there. Some people, they don't have varicose veins, they have no calves. He's got some crazy looking calves. But once again, I'm giving my opinion and my critique on these athletes, but people get bent out of shape over this for some strange, crazy reason, as if I have some kind of personal dislike of the person, okay? Has nothing to do with that. Probably one of the guys I like the best in the whole industry, who probably is one of the hardest working guys out there, and doesn't get maybe the respect that he deserves. I might say this guy is great, and he might do terrible at a show, but that doesn't mean that I don't like the guy or that I love the guy. I can only give my opinion of what I see, on stage. Will Harris years ago was doing he did the Atlantic City Pro Show, and before the show, after prejudging, I critiqued him. I thought he didn't look good or something like that. I thought he was smooth, and he gets so upset with me. But he wound up placing 16th in the show, so obviously my opinion was correct. And he didn't talk to me for a couple years because of it, and after that we made up and we became friends. But I think people get very, they take things very personally, as if it's like a personal attack on them. That's just not the case. I can't say nice things about everyone if they're off. Rudy Winkler was off. He knows he was off. I don't want to pour salt on the wound, but he was not the Rudy Winkler that we've seen. We saw 3 years ago place third at the Olympia, and I have to call it like I see it, and that's just the way it goes. James Hollingshead, the guy is a great bodybuilder. No one works harder than this guy. He's a great person too. I really believe he's one of the true good guys in our sport. But he's not at that level yet. I don't know if he'll ever get there or if he will, but he's not at the level yet to place top 10 at the Olympia, okay? Everyone, because they like the guy a lot, wants to see him be there. And if I say, well, I don't think he's gonna be top 10, I get people sending me, hate messages. That doesn't mean I dislike James Hollingshead. I actually like the guy probably better than most of the lineup. I just don't think personally that he was ready to be top 10, and he probably would agree with that as well. Now, he might have had some miscues going into the Olympia, and things didn't work out the way he wanted to for whatever reason, but the bottom line is on that day he wasn't ready to be top 10. And so you have to understand, and I don't care if people like it or dislike, I'm just explaining, and it's not just me, there's other media sites out there, there's other YouTube channels that do analysis as well. Don't get mad at the person who's trying to break down the sport for you and give their opinion. It's only an opinion, number one, but it has nothing to do with how you feel personally about the athletes. That's important to remember, because I respect every single guy that goes and woman that goes out there and gives 100% of their best and brings their best to the stage and sacrifices to try to be the bodybuilder that they envision in their mind being. That, because I know I did that whole thing. I was in the trenches. I was on the stage before. It sucks. It sucks when you're not at your best or something goes wrong, and you have to hear it from everyone. I know but you know what? It's also the one thing that motivates you to come back and be better. If everyone says, "Oh, you're great," you're never going to make improvements. It's the constructive criticism that you receive from the people in the press or your friends or your coaches that's going to make you get better. Don't take anything personally as a competitor. There's nothing personal about it. It's all about how can I be a better bodybuilder. I'm Dave Palumbo with another RX Muscle Rant.